to keep it down.
Ooh, was it you saucy?
My daddy's on damage control. My daddy on damage control. Damage on my neck, cardio, just my wrist. Took some praying, hard work just to get like this. But you could never understand all the sacrifices take just to stand on 10 toes. So when life get harder than jawbreaker, it's my father keep me grounded like an anchor. What is up, my blushing glams? It's like I fit for me. It's your girl Blush, and we are back with a sit down video. I'm not even gonna go into the spiel of, hey, it's been a while. You know, it's been a while. It has been a while. Y'all, it has been a while. Okay, but before we get started, if you are not part of the Blushing Glam family, please make sure you do by clicking on that subscribe button. Make sure we get the engagement going on here, you guys. If there's something that you want to know, that you just want clarification on, want to know where I got it from, if I didn't indicate where, or you just want to have some dialogue with me, please don't forget that you can use that section which says comment below to go ahead and let's get the dialogue going in here. Always be respectful, but definitely let's get the dialogue going in the comment section. Yes, elephant in the room, which is always the elephant in the room. It's been a while. Life, work, everything else in between. I don't want to get too much into that because I feel like I always do. But my tribe is here. So if you're my tribe, you're here with me, and I know I gotta do better, but let's start trying to do better by getting into this video. So I actually wanted to come in on here and do my faves when it comes to like beauty and hygiene. So there's no particular order per se. And it's just a mixture of all types of beauty items that I've just been using lately, or hygiene items that I've been using lately. So hopefully the video won't be too long, but even if it is, hopefully it makes up for me not being around the last couple of months. But yeah, so anyways, I'm also using a new mic, you guys. Let me know if you guys are hearing me okay, if it's better sound quality. It's been a while, but I'm working on things on the back end. So I definitely picked up this mic to try to see if I can help with sound quality. Been trying to like test different cameras when it comes to the vlogging and things like that, because I think I told you guys before that my vlog camera went missing and stuff like that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into some of my beauty faves, like things I've just been kind of getting into when it comes to hygiene and beauties within the last few months. I'm sharing with you. You can keep using whatever works for you. If you're on the market of looking into new items to try, definitely feel free to try these things. A lot of these things are drugstore bought items. They're not that expensive, or if they're not drugstore bought, I picked them up at Amazon. All right, so I'm just again, no particular order. I'm just pulling different stuff up. So anyways, you guys, I was scrolling on TikTok a few months ago, and I noticed I was on the side of TikTok that most of the girlies that like the dainty demure girls were into like scented powders. If you know me, if you grew up with me, I could probably post a picture if I editing Blush remembered to probably stick the picture in here. But I was like part of the powder clan. Now this of course was before all the Johnson & Johnson lawsuits and all that good stuff, but that like powder was my thing. And yeah, it looked tacky then, so you probably may not find me out with powder on me. And I started getting back into it again once I started going into TikTok and noticing that girls are still into it. So I picked up my own thing of powder. Now, so when you go onto Amazon, if you put in like scented powder, you get different ones. You just kind of decide which scent you want, or if you want to keep it simple, you can always just kind of go to Walmart or CVS or whatever, and you can pick up the powders that they use for babies. Sometimes they have like scented ones, and then like lavender or whatever, and then they might have just plain baby powder. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the scented because that kind of helps with like your perfume and things like that. I usually wear this at night when I'm sleeping. Like I said, I don't wear it out like I used to when I was a kid.
but I wear it kind of like when I'm going to sleep after a shower. And I got this cute little, I actually have another one. I'll try to remember to come back and show you the one I originally got. It actually was a candy, like a candy container, and I turned it into like a scented powder container. So anyways, same thing I kind of did with this. This one is like a twist top, so it's less mess. I did get this, like this, the puff. I got it separately, and I just kind of like the whole rainbow effect color to this. And this one, oh my god, this powder smells so good. It kind of has like a fresh but lilac smell to it as well. No specific color, but again, I just wear this after I pretty much take a shower. Let me see if I can go get the other one that I picked up, which is so much cuter. So yeah, so this is the one. Oh my god, I think this is so cute. So this one actually has that also. I'm into colors. If you don't know about me, I'm trying to get out of it because I want to kind of have like a minimalistic aesthetic to me. But if you know me, colors from when I was a kid, hair, nails, everything just had to be kind of over the top when it came to colors. But anyways, yeah, so this is like basically like a candy jar or a candy container, which I turned into like a scented powder thing. Same jab like this one, but this one doesn't have a twist top again because it's supposed to be like the candies. Same little powder puff. This came with like a three in a pack, and this one actually has like I think a jasmine scent to this one. If you're interested, if you're into the whole scented powder thing, and you're interested, just let me know if you want me to kind of like tag or put in the link for where I got the scented powders from. And again, like I said, I just after I shower, before I go to bed, just to kind of feel a little bit more fresh. I usually just kind of use it around my neck area. I don't usually use it anywhere else. I'm still kind of like nervous with all the Johnson & Johnson allegations. So yeah, I guess since we've talked about showers, I'm gonna try to stay in the same categories as much as I can because I'm kind of pulling these things out of a box that I created for for today's topic. So I'm gonna try to stay within the same realm. So since we talked about like after showering, things like that, another thing I actually picked up, which I like to use from time to time. I don't like to use this every day, but from time to time when I remember also, is basically a dry body brush, which is pretty much good for exfoliating. I found that the last few months my legs kind of has that I think what like the strawberry legs. I don't know if it's from shaving or because my legs or my skin is usually dry on my legs. I don't know, but I picked this up because I heard this kind of helps with that. I don't use it as often enough to kind of see the difference, but I do notice that when I do use it, like after a shower, I do feel like my skin is a little bit smoother. But the appearance of the strawberry legs or strawberry skin, I haven't seen that it made much of a difference in it yet. But again, I don't use it often enough to see if there's a difference. I think you probably need to use this maybe like 2 to 3 times a week to kind of maybe see a difference. But like I said, before you take a shower, it's dry. So before you take a shower, you would pretty much rub this on your skin in a circular motion, and then you hop into your shower. So I like the way it does make me feel after a shower, but I can't say what it does for the strawberry legs as of yet. Okay, so back to shower. Might be a little of a TMI or weird subject for some people, especially for me, because I don't really talk too much about like feminine hygiene on here. If I do talk about beauty and stuff, it's usually makeup or fragrance and things like that. But I never talk too much about feminine hygiene because I just kind of feel like that's a weird subject for me. But anyways, so I did talk about this one time before. So basically, after having my second child, I just kind of noticed, I'm not sure if it's because of age or what it is. I just noticed things about my body that I wasn't used to and I didn't like. Or I just wasn't used to. Maybe I want to say I didn't like. I just wasn't used to, and I noticed that I just kind of needed to take a little bit more care or attention of myself than I did before. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, so basically I started kind of like getting more into like feminine washes. So prior to that, I would just kind of like just use regular, like whatever bar soap that I'm using when I'm taking a shower, that would be all over body. And I still do use that. But again, I started implementing these into my, my shower routine. Not both of them at the same time, just from time to time, just depending on the time of the month or just whatever, like however way I'm feeling. If I just feel like I'm a little off, I would use, you know, one or the other. Now this one basically is a foam wash. You can use this by itself. What I do, I usually actually, another thing that I've been implementing in my showers, again, I think I told you guys this before. So usually you would use something like this, or what they call a peri bottle, after you give birth. I noticed that I've actually just kind of just added this to my regular shower routine and used this more often in showers than after maternity, after like postpartum care than I used to. Like basically, the reason why I like this is what I do is I kind of like water down this, like maybe like put like 2 or 3 drops of this in here and put like some warm water in here and shake it up. And then the cool thing about this, which is why I like to use this rather than the peri bottle that they give you at the hospital after you give birth, because I would put a witch hazel wash or something like that I used to put in here, you know, after giving birth, because after you give birth, you either might tear, whatever the case is, and you know it's gonna hurt down there. So being able to just like wash like normal may not be the easiest thing to do. So they would give you the peri bottle, so after you use the bathroom, you would kind of shoot up some water under there, and then just pat down there. So I kind of like took what they gave me with that, and I just kind of carried it on even after postpartum. So again, I will put something like this in here, like 2 or 3 drops of this, 2 or 3 squeezes of this in some warm water, shake it up, and then as I'm showering, I would just kind of like use the water to kind of squirt up into, you know, that area, and that way it would basically put the products that's in here along with some water to, you know, get that going. Now, in case you're wondering what this is just a regular feminine cleanser, and it can basically be used for everyday wash. Now I know some people kind of use like Summer's Eve, just different things, and I just, again, I was never really into those type of things until after like my postpartum care, after my second birth. It's just kind of like I just started paying attention a little bit more to my body, and I don't know, implementing this kind of just, I feel like helped a lot with everyday care of my feminine self. So this actually has boric acid in here, which is good for like when it comes to like cleansing the feminine area. And I'm a little nervous about the word boric acid, which is why I kind of water it down every time I do use it. You don't have to, but that's just me. But it's supposed to be helping with pH balance and things like that. Like, again, ever since like I'm just very OCD about, you know, the pH, my pH, and I just want to be mindful of like what I'm using in that area, because after birth, everything is just out of whack. Now, yeah, so I usually just kind of use things that says that it helps with pH, and I've used that. I like it. It works for me, and I'm just sticking to it. Same thing with this one. This is it also has a boric acid in it as well. It's from PhD. And you can find these again at Target, Walmart. I usually pick them up at Target. This is probably not even like $6, and again, this is probably not even $8 or $9. So they're not like way expensive, and you can use them every day if you want to, and they will not irritate you, and they will actually keep your pH balance where it needs to be when it comes to down there. Next thing I'm gonna say is body care. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's wait for body care. Since we're in the shower, you're gonna brush your teeth, and I've been actually using recommending, not this particularly, but recommend the use from my dentist to kind of start implementing electric toothbrush use when I'm brushing my teeth. So I kind of picked this up from Amazon, and this one kind of has like different things or levels or whatever on it. So when you press this power button, you have the level for like if you want to white, if you want to clean, for those that have sensitive teeth, polish, or if you're just looking to massage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It comes with different heads on there, and in a case in case you want to travel. So definitely does, if you want to use an electric toothbrush, doesn't have to necessarily be this one. Do your research, whichever one you want. Now with electric toothbrushes, the prices can start to skyrocket. So just be mindful when you are purchasing your electric toothbrush and you're doing your research on which one you want to pick up. Now, since most of you guys know I was on the journey of getting this tooth fixed because I hit it when I was a kid like twice. I got it when I was a kid, when I was like 3 or 4 years old. The tooth that was there, I fell and it broke, came out. Then when my adult tooth came in, that same tooth got chipped. So basically, there was trauma to that tooth, which caused it to turn yellow, and therefore, like, it affected kind of like that tooth. So eventually, I had to get what's called a root canal and had to kind of get that tooth squared away. But meanwhile, I know that because when you get a root canal, you have to get what's called a crown. Kind of works a lot like how veneers and things like that works. Not entirely, but it works a lot like that. But it's only one tooth, so I wanted to make sure that the rest of my teeth would pretty much be in line when it comes to the color. So I started kind of using this duo for keeping my teeth white, and I would say that it did a good job. Along with, got these strips. I think I picked them up from, may have been Walmart, Target, or if not, I think it was Walmart I picked these up from. But you can use any, Crest white strip and just kind of follow the directions, and they're not that difficult to follow through with. But this one is like a 2-step system. When you're brushing your teeth, first you brush it with this, and when you brush it with this, you don't rinse your mouth, you go in with this. And I use this kind of like on a daily basis, and I feel like it definitely helped with, keeping my teeth at bay when it came to being white. My camera is running low on time, so let me switch out. All right, I'm back. So I'm gonna try to make this quick so I'm not giving you guys like a 40-minute chit chat or whatever. Yeah, so that's basically teeth health. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go into still after shower or skincare basically. All right, so I've actually, when it comes to regular lotion, well, when it comes to skin, my skin is the driest, and for a lot of reasons. One, I don't drink as much water as I should. You know how to be like, oh, drink water and mind your business. The mind your business part, yeah, I do, but drink water, I'm not that great at it. I was never great at it. Even when I was pregnant, I used to always get, like, my husband's constantly yelling at me to drink water. Sister-in-law, even my daughter probably be yelling at me. My sister, everyone's yelling at me about my water intake. So I was never the greatest when it came to that. But I did try to implement like little things to kind of help me drink a lot more water. Like I went and got like those drinking jugs, whatever, where it kind of tells you, okay, by 12 o'clock you should have already drunk this. By 2 o'clock, it didn't help that much. But when I actually get into it, I get into it. That's not what we're talking about. So anyways, because I'm not as hydrated on the inside, it shows up on my skin. So I spend a lot, like, I buy a lot of like hydrating, like things to hydrate my skin, like when it comes to lotion and things like that. And I actually picked this up. I got this on Amazon. I'm sure you can get this at Walmart or whatever the case is. This is Olay Collagen Peptide. Another thing is, especially when you're starting to get up in age, once you start hitting over 30 and things like that, skincare is definitely very important. So anytime I try to buy things nowadays, I definitely look for things that have collagen in it, because collagen, of course, it's good for the skin. It's good for the elasticity of your skin. You want to avoid any wrinkles and things like that. So as you can see, it says firming body lotion. I don't know if it definitely firms, but it is very hydrating. Like when I do have this on, I would say it keeps me hydrated for a few hours. Technically, you know, I get dry pretty quick. Like I can get some lotion that I have on, and then after a few minutes, I'm already dry. This one doesn't necessarily do that. After a few hours, I can still feel some sort of hydration after using this. I don't think I've used it enough to say that I'm seeing like any firming of my skin as of yet, but I can say that it is pretty hydrating. And I tend to try to use this at night mostly. There's something else that I should have probably had on here, but I'm not even gonna go pick it up. But there's something else that I kind of use. So things I have like that I've purchased that says that it has AAHA on there. I try to use those at night because my understanding is that them and those type of products or that type of ingredient in those products and the sun do not mix. All right, and I couldn't be an entrepreneur if I didn't use my own product and share with you my own product. So this is basically my scented body cream. So you basically use it like lotion, like any body cream that you would use. I have a couple of scents. Now I know when I did a YouTube shorts a couple of weeks ago, some people was asking how can they order. So because I'm basically working on the back end of my website, the website is not per se up because there's still some things that I'm working on. But if you are interested in my perfume oil, which is I have a roll-on perfume oil and then like a bigger little bottle, just like a drop, like little drop bottles. So they come in different scents. Some of the scents mimic or smell a lot like some of our favorite designer fragrances. But if you're interested in getting either the body cream or the roll-on, you can always just message me in here, or if you follow me on Instagram, which you should. If you're not, I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship we have going on. Yeah, so if you're not following me on Instagram, do so. It's blush_the_icon. You can always DM me there so that we can kind of connect and I can kind of get your order going until I get things squared away with the website. But yeah, that's my body cream, and it's scented and it's very luscious in hydration. So get your hands on those. We're still in skincare. I've been kind of paying attention also to my face wash. Like again, before, when it comes to showering and stuff like that, I suggest bar soap. Like I would be okay. And I'm kind of still okay with that. Like I don't go crazy when it comes to skincare and feminine wash and all that other good stuff. I don't go crazy. Like if I don't use it, like, oh, you know, I don't use those things every single day. But some days I may feel like I need to use them more than others, especially like certain times of the month or whatever the case is. So same thing with here, you know, certain times of the month, things show up on your skin, you know, hormones. Also, you know, like if after I, you know, put makeup on, I might notice that my skin's kind of like acting a little off. So anyway, so I picked this up, and just so you know, there's a lot of good skincare that you can pick up at like TJ Maxx for sure. I haven't tried a lot of Marshall's things. Burlington I do pick up sometimes, but TJ Maxx for sure. These are one of the products that I picked up at TJ Maxx, as you can see. It's only $5.99. I don't know if all TJ Maxx has it, but this one is from a company called Nature Love. And it's based, as you can see, it says face wash and makeup remover. So basically on a day that I have makeup on and I am coming home, I can do a 2-in-1. This is a regular face wash, and it also has makeup remover on it. On here it says that it has micellar water and niacinamide on here. So it's not something that you probably would want to use every single day, especially if you don't use makeup every single day. But if you do use makeup, this is definitely something to use. It's not like very soapy or anything like that, but you work it in and you can get it, kind of like melts the makeup off. I usually use a makeup balm cleanser before I do like any face wash. So that's something you can kind of think about as well. All right, I've also I've also picked this up here. I picked this up from Ulta, I think. This is the La Roche-Posay face moisturizer. It says double repair, and I use that because you guys, like, again, my skin is extra dry, extra dry, and I know definitely why. What I need to kind of change a little bit is on internally. I just need to drink some more, like more water, more hydration. But on the outside, it definitely helps to use sunscreen for sure. And then also that you're using face moisturizer, and I picked this one up. It's not too greasy, but it definitely gets that that hydration in. I've also been using this hyaluronic. Oh, this is also a product that I picked up from TJ Maxx. I wish I had a ticket to show you that I did, but yeah, from TJ Maxx. It's a roll-on rollers, under eye rollers serum. Under eye roller serum. It's pretty easy. You just kind of like, I roll it first on my skin just to kind of get the ball rolling on here, and then I just kind of like roll it under my eye. I don't use it all the time to see like great results, but it definitely is supposed to, it has hydrating hyaluronic acid on there, but it's definitely supposed to help with it's just like, you know, your skin is just kind of showing aging and things like that, fine lines, crow's feet, plumping your eye area and things like that. And I would say that when I do use it, I do feel like my face is a little bit more plumper. We're still in body care, so cracked feet, also going back to hydration. So when I do actually take the time at nighttime, when I'm taking a shower, like those nights where I actually do all these things that I'm explaining to you when it comes to the face, putting lotion on and things like that, I definitely also add this cracked feet stick. It's from a company called Onyx, and I'm sure there's other companies that might offer this as well. Again, it's another product I picked up from TJ Maxx, but it's just wonders. And what I would recommend using, if you can also use Vaseline, but if you get something like this, after you do that, just put like, you know, some socks on your feet. Personally, I don't know why, but I hate going to sleep with socks on my feet. It just makes me feel ugh. But it will help with keeping your feet hydrated if you use like products like this or like Vaseline or something like that. Body oil, definitely. Well, there was some good body oils that I picked up from Target. They're not that expensive. They're from the same brand that does the scrubs. I guess the next time that I do like another beauty pickup, I'll show you those. But yeah, body oils are definitely a plus before you go to sleep, keeping yourself hydrating, and then it smells so good. So like, you know, some of these things, if you have a partner that you're sleeping next to, you definitely, you know, even if you don't do it every night, most nights, you want to make sure that you go to sleep feeling smooth, silky smooth, and smelling nice for your partner. I know we always can't do that because sometimes we go to sleep tired. You just kind of like get your night routine going and you go to sleep. If you even have time to do a night routine. So every night you're not gonna be able to do it, but most nights, I'm sure it would be very pleasurable to your partner to come home and, you know, go to sleep and you're feeling nice and silky smooth, and you smell good as well. You know what I mean? All right, we're still in skincare. I'm trying to kind of roll this quick because again, I don't want you guys to be sitting here for 40 minutes. I picked this up again, TJ Maxx. A lot of skincare at TJ Maxx, but this is they have different ones. I forget the name. There was like a popular brand there that they had, but this is basically a lip mask. So when you do like your mini facials and things like that, and I think you can wear this very often, every night if possible. But it says overnight lip mask. So after you do your little skincare or your night routine or whatever the case is, you can paste this on your lip, and it basically helps with like conditioning your lips so that you're not having like those cracked lips and things like that. Again, something I think if you can continue to implement in your skincare routine, your partner would definitely, if you have a partner, if you know, if you out here just, you know, willy-nillying it on your own solo dolo with the single life, more power to you. But if you do have a partner, I'm sure they would definitely appreciate that you're taking the extra TLC on your skin, because it'll show in it and they'll feel it, you know? All right, skincare, we'll stay in skincare. Another thing that I've also try to do every now and again is when I'm doing my facials is adding these plumping sheet masks. And I also try to do like the little under eye little mask thingies. I like to do this especially after skincare, like on a Sunday, you know. Again, another TJ Maxx special. So definitely this one I like it again because again, collagen. Definitely good for the skin when you have collagen. Back to the cracked feet. The peeling mask. Foot peeling mask. It's not something that you want to do every day, but you just kind of put them on like how you would put gloves on, and they actually have like I think a version of it for hands, which I thought I had added here, but I didn't. Like if you want to do like a hand mask or whatever the case is, but this is basically a foot mask, and you can see the picture of it. You put it on like kind of like you put gloves on, you tie it on, you leave it on for a few minutes, maybe like 10 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then you wash it off. And then after a few days, you'll notice that your feet will be peeling. It'll be nasty looking for a few days. But the result is, yeah, it's amazing. You know, you're basically taking off that dead skin, the cracked skin off. And then you kind of like bring out that new skin. That's why I'm saying it's not something you want to do all the time. I would probably do this maybe 3 to 4 times a year, just because it may be too harsh for your skin if every other week or every other month you're constantly peeling the skin. But I would only probably do this like 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 times a year. But yeah, it works wonders when I actually do it. I think that's pretty much it for skincare. I think I'm gonna end this with hair care. So as you can see, I have some braids in. I've had these braids in probably almost month and a half. I would say more than a month. Maybe like we're probably running on a month and a half. I was supposed to take it off almost 2 weeks ago, but every time I was supposed to take it off, it's like something came up, and the distance or the time frame of me taking it out and doing another hairstyle, I just wasn't gonna have the time, and I didn't want to walk around with nothing on my head or just kind of like trying to figure life out. It was just easier to keep this on. So in between, what I've been doing is there's this young lady I watch, and if I remember her editing blush, just go ahead and make sure you kind of like plug in her name here, just because I like to want, you know, shout out people when I learn new things from them. But basically using like pre-shampoos or like dry shampoos in between braids, or in between refreshing your braids. So I've used this on, so one of them on my daughter, one of them on me, or 2 of them on me. So like before, like I would kind of like take like the couple of braids in the front out just to kind of refresh it. I would basically use these, I'll show you, on my hair. So the first one that I used was actually Wonder Crown from Mazzani. I got this from a local beauty supply store. If you're like in South Florida, it's Elegant Beauty. If not, I'm sure you can pick it up on Amazon. I couldn't find it like locally at Target or anything like that, although it says Target carry it. But I had to go to my local beauty supply store. And this one, it says scalp foaming pre-cleanse. It says pre-cleanse, but you can use it like a shampoo. So you just kind of like spread the braids in, squeeze it. You can use your fingers. You can use a towel to kind of like cleanse the scalp itself. And then after you're done, you kind of like, you can rinse it out. You can use the towel to kind of like rinse out the soapy part. Now, before I go show you the other ones, I do want to let you know that when you're using these things just to kind of like refresh your braids, keep in mind that, again, you're kind of like trying to take the gunk out. But sometimes you'll notice that when you take your hair out, there'll be gunk, there'll be like a residue kind of still staying in the braids. So just kind of like be careful when you're washing to make sure that you're kind of washing around the, like where the braids connect with your hair, just so like it doesn't leave that residue there or kind of clog your hair, you know, your hair follicles there. But yeah, I like this one, and I've also used this one. Now, this one is not as soapy, and I also did get this from Target. This is not soapy, but definitely both of them do smell good. This one kind of has like a lavender, pepperminty type of smell, and this one kind of have like that fresh smell. The one that I did use on my daughter when I was refreshing her braids is from Carol and Carol's Daughter, which I picked up from Sally's Beauty Supply. Again, this wasn't expensive. I think this was like maybe like $10, maybe less than that. And look at like the bottle. It's really big. This one definitely was soapy. But all of them, you can use them the same. If you look, like they all kind of have like that nozzle. You can spread the braids out, put the product in, work it in, and then kind of get like a wet towel. Or if you just want to rinse the hair outright, you can do that as well right before you kind of take the hair out to just like refresh, if you're going to just refresh a couple braids in the front. But I mean, I have other products that I do I have been having fun with, but these are like the main ones that I've just been enjoying the last couple of months, and I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully this video wasn't too long, but if it was, again, you guys, it has been a couple of months, so you know I got a lot that I have to kind of chit chat with you guys on. I have actually been vlogging, but they just don't make it to you guys because it's like their vlogs. I'll start a vlog and then it'll be like days or weeks in between. It's just, they just don't end up adding up and making sense, so I just don't do them. I just kind of like say, you know, I'm gonna start fresh all over. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys like the new intro and outro. I'll be checking in with you guys, hopefully vlogging a little bit more. But thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, if you're not part of the Blush and Glam family, please do join. We have lots of fun here. All right, thank you guys. Peace.
Try me, cause it could get nasty. Ain't no stopping, keep my foot on the clutch. You could